the goals, but somehow managed to get out of it.
Thanks for your company as always. Look forward to seeing you on The Chase Australia.
Tonight, campaign scramble. A young activist charged for egging the Prime Minister. It's a boy. Prince Harry announces he and Meghan have welcomed their new bundle of joy. Scaffold tragedy. Heartbroken parents call for change following their son's worksite death. Store owners swoop, tackling a thief to the ground after a crime spree in our west. The futuristic device helping you get through airport security in record time. And Western Sydney crooners Human Nature awarded the Order of Australia.
Live from our Sydney headquarters, this is 7 News with Mark Ferguson.
Good evening. The Prime Minister has dismissed an activist egging him at a CWA meeting in Albury as an ugly protest. The egg didn't break on him, but the young woman who threw it was grabbed by his security detail and later charged with assault and possessing cannabis.
A gathering of the Country Women's Association, interrupted by an extraordinary event.
Good eye.
Scott Morrison isn't sure at first what has just happened. The egg missed, but Mr Morrison's security detail didn't.
Is this necessary? It is now. Necessary? I know you're right.
The Prime Minister going to the aid of an elderly woman knocked over in the commotion. Later, laughing it off.
The CWA could give her a really good idea about what you're supposed to do with eggs, in terms of baking or something like that.
Bill Shorten condemning the attack.
This is appalling and disgraceful behaviour.
The woman, Amber Page, left with more than egg on her own face, charged with common assault and possession of marijuana.
This is the most harmless thing you can do.
In a tweet, Mr Morrison likened her to militant unionists.
Just because you have a difference of view to someone doesn't mean that you have to engage in these sort of ugly types of protests.
But her Facebook account is filled with messages supporting the Greens.
The Greens absolutely condemn these actions, and we think the way to defeat a shocking government is at the ballot box.
The incident follows the egging of Senator Fraser Anning.
It's not right. I think it's disgusting.
Both leaders insist their security is adequate and that this is one of the unfortunate risks of modern campaigning. The continuing colour and movement of this campaign is of no consequence to a record number of people. The number of Australians who've now already cast their ballot at pre-poll booths today moved beyond 1 million voters. But some of that colour and movement Australia could do without.
No, she missed. She had a bad shot.
Mark Riley, 7 News.
With a beaming smile, Prince Harry announced to the world he's a dad. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex welcomed a little boy, the brand new family spending some time to themselves before telling the world. The yet-to-be-named 7th in line to the throne was late, but he and mum Meghan are doing well. Our Europe correspondents are live in Windsor and in London tonight. First to Laurel Irving. Laurel, how's the new family going?
Well, they're at their new home right now, Mark, in Frogmore Cottage, just a little way away from here. Waking up after their first night as a family of 3. It's a little over 24 hours now since their baby was born. News they kept to themselves for more than 7 hours. Ahead, though, of a life very much in the public eye. Their long wait finally over.
Hip hip hooray! To Prince Harry and Meghan!
And a beaming new dad couldn't hide his excitement. A besotted Prince Harry confirming the news so many had waited to hear.
I'm very excited to announce that Meghan and myself had a baby boy early this morning, a very healthy boy. Mother and baby are doing incredibly well. It's been the most amazing experience I could ever possibly imagine.
The couple had planned a home birth at Frogmore Cottage, plans abandoned at the last minute for a private hospital instead. The Prince revealing the baby was overdue, but the labour when it came was reportedly quick.
How any woman does what they do is beyond comprehension, but we're both absolutely thrilled and so grateful to all the love and support for everybody out there.
Harry broke the news himself before the traditional easel announcement at Buckingham Palace and the modern couple's twist, a simple message to 6 million followers on Instagram. Their little boy was born at sunrise, 5:26 a.m, weighing a healthy 3.3 kilograms. That's 7 pounds 3 ounces on the old scale.
I haven't been at many births. This is definitely my first birth, but it was amazing, absolutely incredible. And as I said, I'm so incredibly proud of my wife. And as every father and parent would ever say, you know, your baby is absolutely amazing, but this little thing is absolutely to die for. So I'm just over the moon.
Baby Sussex marks a profound new era for the British monarchy, the first royal eligible for a US passport and the first with African American heritage.
God bless America and God save the Queen.
And while the couple refused an immediate photo opportunity like his mother and William and Kate, Harry's candid appearance was a welcome surprise.
That wasn't planned, that interview, so that came out of nowhere. And that was obviously him deciding, I feel good enough to do this. And it does show how well the birth actually went.
I'm so happy for Harry because he's just such a darling and it's just all he's ever wanted. You know, his own little family, and I'm really, really excited for him.
The Queen was informed of the birth of her 8th great-grandchild, while Meghan's mother Doria is now with the new parents at home. Meghan's father, Thomas Markle, who hasn't spoken to his daughter since before her wedding last year, has issued a statement to British newspapers. God bless the child and I wish him health and happiness, and my congratulations to my lovely daughter, Duchess Meghan and Prince Harry, and God save the Queen. The news was broadcast on London's famous BT Tower and then celebrated by the colours of the London Eye, not to mention the local Windsor pub.
Congratulations, Harry and Meghan, on the birth of your baby boy.
Online, congratulations from the British Prime Minister, Michelle Obama, and the cast of Meghan's former TV show, Suits.
Congratulations!
Among the excited crowds in Windsor, Australians who couldn't believe their luck.
We were like, oh my God, what if it happens today? And it did.
Being Australian, there's so many of us here for it, and it's really exciting to be celebrating with everyone.
Here at Windsor Castle is where we'll get to meet Harry and Meghan's little boy for the first time. At the moment, they're at home at Frogmore Cottage, enjoying their first few hours as a family of 3. But they've promised tomorrow they will introduce their son to the world. Maybe then we'll know his name.
Still thinking about names, Alan. The baby's a little bit overdue, so we've had a little bit of time to think about it. But we're still. That's the next bit.
And perhaps Meghan will want to avoid English tradition.
As someone who has a black mum and a white father, someone who's from America, not from the UK, I suspect it might be a little bit different.
Still, the royal baby is a royal baby.
Congratulations and celebration.
In Windsor, Laurel Irving, 7 News.
Let's go to Hugh Whitfield now at Buckingham Palace. Hugh, as we just heard, no name yet, but will the baby become a prince?
Well, not automatically, Mark, no. Traditionally, the sons or daughters of the sovereign or the children of the sovereign's sons are called princes and princesses. It'll really be up to the Queen to decide what to bestow upon this little one. Of course, famously, Princess Anne refused titles for her children, Peter and Zara, and this modern royal couple may very well choose to do the same. Baby Sussex is currently 7th in line to the throne. He'll certainly have a life in the spotlight, but like his dad, less pressure than his little cousins. Among the bookies' favourites for a name, Alexander, Arthur, Albert, James and Spencer, which would of course be a nod to Diana. And as you can imagine, Harry's beaming face is front page almost everywhere here today. The Daily Star, though, bucked the trend with a quick line: American actress has a baby. Hopefully that gave the new happy couple a bit of a laugh as they settle into their new life. Mark?
Yeah, not sure the Royals read the Daily Star, but you never know, Hugh. Thank you. In one of the most anticipated decisions in recent years, the Reserve Bank has again opted to leave interest rates on hold for at least another month. Network Finance reporter Gemma Acton is there tonight. Gemma, the call has surprised many analysts.
Yes, Mark, it has. The bank's chosen not to cut rates during the election campaign, despite many predicting that it would. Some have even said that the bank acted irresponsibly in not cutting rates today, saying that the economy could do with a bit of a jump start. However, others say that the Reserve Bank was right to wait, and most economists still think there will be 2 rate cuts later this year.
Back in February, we forecast that there'd be 2 cuts, the first one in August and the second one in November. And we're still pretty comfortable with that timing.
The official interest rate has now sat at its record low level of 1.5% for nearly 3 years. The Reserve Bank's holding out for further falls in the unemployment rate to spark more demand for workers and therefore higher wages growth in order to give the economy a lift. Mark.
OK, Gemma Acton in the city for us. Thank you. Some breaking news now, and a cyclist has died in a hit-and-run crash at Lidcombe late this afternoon. Police officers performed CPR before paramedics arrived, along with a specialist medical team, but the man couldn't be saved. The driver did not stop. Police are looking for a woman of Asian appearance, aged in her 30s, in a grey sedan. The parents of a Sydney apprentice killed in a scaffolding collapse have given their first interview, telling 7 News they want to prevent such tragedies happening again. Christopher Casaniti died at Macquarie Park last month, just days after his 18th birthday. His life remembered at a memorial service last night.
Christopher Casaniti's mother leads the line of family and friends through a moving memorial to her son, kissing his photo, sending him prayers, as a packed congregation paused to remember a life lost just 4 days after he turned 18.
It was in this church that Christopher was baptised.
Casaniti was killed on this Macquarie Park worksite in April. 15 metres of scaffolding fell on him. Last night they honoured him, but his family are demanding a far more permanent legacy: industrial manslaughter laws.
Kill a worker. Kill a worker. Go to jail.
Bosses, boards, liable for unsafe workplaces.
Doesn't matter if it's white collar, blue collar, they should be feeling safe going to work.
The state government says it's open to the idea, but not until the investigation is done.
No stone will be left unturned, and if they have any concerns with that investigation, my door is open.
Industrial manslaughter laws have been passed already in Queensland, Victoria and the ACT, with penalties up to $10 million and 20 years jail. And one recent review recommends those laws be standardised and rolled out nationally.
We need to change the culture of the industry.
They'll meet government leaders in coming weeks.
I promised, the workers that I won't stop until, they feel safe.
Chris Reason, 7 News.
Firefighters saved a woman from a burning home at Glebe this afternoon. The blaze broke out in a downstairs kitchen, but she was trapped upstairs by thick smoke that could be seen from the city. Firefighters reached her just in time.
It probably was a very intense fire, and the heat built up within the next 5 to 10 minutes after fire rescue got here. Could have been quite catastrophic.
Her cat was also rescued and is being looked after by a neighbour while the woman recovers from smoke inhalation in hospital. A bus driver who hit and killed 2 food delivery men has been committed to stand trial. Louis Rojas faced court today, charged with 2 counts of negligent driving occasioning death. He claims he was distracted by the sun.
Got anything you'd like to say to the victims' families, sir? Was the sun in your eyes, or were you using your mobile phone?
The trial will begin next month. There were a few protesters and plenty of ceremony today to mark the start of the new state parliament. The centuries-old traditions quickly giving way to the swearing-in of new members, including Mark Latham, and the promise of hostile debate.
After the ferocity of the election came the ceremony of Australia's oldest parliament. Lower house members commanded to follow the black rod through decorated hallways and along the balconies of Parliament into the upper house for a joint sitting.
To provide for the peace, welfare and good government of the state of New South Wales.
One by one in both houses.
Dominic Francis Perrottet.
All were sworn in to serve faithfully.
I pledge my loyalty.
Old faces and new.
I pledge my loyalty to Australia and to the people of New South Wales.
Mark Latham and One Nation's arrival attracted federal leader Pauline Hanson.
You have no idea how excited and how proud I am.
And a handful of unimpressed protesters.
Latham is not welcome here!
Another new parliamentary participant, Governor Margaret Beazley, herself sworn in just a week ago, Her Excellency now central to forming the Parliament.
I urge you to never forget the honour which has been bestowed on you, nor the trust that has been placed in you.
After the ceremonial pleasantries, the hostilities are back tomorrow. Sean Berry, 7 News.
After 3 days of intense legal debate over the future of Wallaby star Israel Folau, the Code of Conduct hearing has now wrapped up. Peter Fegan joins us. Peter, talks concluded a little over an hour ago, but no word yet on the outcome.
That's right, Mark. Rugby Australia is anticipating that the panel will make their decision public in the coming days. Now, a short time ago, 7 News exclusively caught the moment that Israel Folau and his wife left those proceedings. They were seen in the car park with their legal team. They were smiling and laughing. They seemed to be in very good spirits. As for Raylene Castle, she is still inside. We're told she will be there for the next hour, hour and a half. The rugby boss is currently discussing today's decision with her legal team. Now, as for what was spoken about today and what we learnt today, that won't be again until for another few days. So we don't know whether either side will appeal that decision, and we also don't know exactly what if the agreement has been made. So again, Mark, it will still be a few days until we know exactly what's happened and whether either side will appeal and what has happened today. Mark?
OK, Peter Fegan in the city for us. Thank you. They got their big break as schoolboys in Western Sydney. Fast forward more than 30 years and Human Nature is now one of Australia's biggest musical success stories. Today, the band performed a very special gig at Canberra's Government House after being awarded Order of Australia medals.
An intimate, unplugged performance by a group that usually fills concert halls. Human Nature, 4 boys from Western Sydney, now Order of Australia recipients.
Today we have the Royal Gold, real deal Aussies who are here.
It was amazing. Our family and loved ones were there, and just to be there with us. I saw my mum shed a tear, which was really sweet to see.
It's a proud day for the crooners who formed their dynamic doo-wop quartet during high school in Glenfield.
I think it's definitely a case of, you know, if you dream it, you can do it. Because, I mean, we were just literally 4 guys at high school who just loved singing together.
Now they're based in Las Vegas. But Australia will always be home. They're back for their 30th anniversary tour, tonight warming up for Wollongong. But this moment, no doubt, a highlight of their trip home.
To be able to receive these medals as part of it, it's pretty amazing.
Jessica Ridley, 7 News.
Stargazers from around Sydney were up staring into space from 2 this morning for a rare meteor shower. A part of it captured here with a fisheye lens showing meteors streaking across the heavens at more than 240,000 kilometres an hour.
Well, I thought it would be a really cool sight to see because I've never seen a meteor shower.
But for some, there was a better light show to be had closer to Earth. Time now for a check on our weather. Brownie, can stargazers expect another clear night?
Oh, I think you can lock that one in, Fergo. But look, it was chilly this morning. Coldest start to the day since, well, mid-September last year. A reflection of just how dry the air is over Sydney. You'll notice it dropped to 9.8 degrees in the city. Colder in Penrith, 5.1 degrees. Now, later this week, a cold surge is expected to produce snow over the southern and central tablelands above 1,000 metres. We might even see a dusting at places like Jenolan Caves during Friday. Yes, winter is knocking on the door. Another cold night is brewing, but looks like it probably won't be as cold as last night, providing the northwesterly wind doesn't drop out. At the moment, as we look around the Greater Sydney region, you'll notice most areas are recording a temperature of around about, well, the high teens. And of course, I'll have a detailed 7-day forecast, top of the hour, Fergo.
We'll see you then, David. Thank you. A man claiming to be armed with a gun on a terrifying robbery spree in our west. Next, the dramatic moment he was tackled to the ground by brave business owners. Lucky escape, how 2 men managed to survive after getting into serious trouble at Bondi. Later, the high-tech scanner helping passengers fly through airport security. And completing an incredible comeback, the presidential honour from Donald Trump for Tiger Woods.
I
promise you I'll never give you reason not to trust me. Will you marry me?
Of course.
He left without a word. Now he's back.
When you left, she was an absolute mess.
I told you I'm not going to give up.
I can't do this.
I love you.
Please just leave me alone.
You have to clear the air.
Can she forgive him?
I don't want to hurt her anymore.
Home and Away. This week at 7 on 7.
Nobody makes soup in a cup like Continental Cup of Soup.
Your hug in a mug.
With 550 newton metres of torque and a compression
What
rate.
the? Nobody needs to worry about the inner workings of an engine, especially with Honda engineering and a 7-year warranty that give you complete peace of mind. Know what the H you're getting at Honda.
Domino's is changing.
The increase in quality is nice.
I'm surprised this has changed my mind.
And now it's your turn to take a fresh look. Try any pizza delivered to your door from just $15. That's right, any pizza from just $15 delivered at Domino's.
This changes everything. New Tresemme Violet Blonde Shine eliminates brassy tones for blondes. Now you're ready for everything. Professional results in your hands.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
Some of you will not be coming back. That your sacrifice will not have been in vain.
George Clooney returns to television in Stan's epic series Catch-22.
Read me back the last line.
Read me back the last line.
Not my last line.
Read me back the last line. That's my last line.
Featuring an all-star cast.
You still think you're gonna get out of here?
You're out of here! What?
Based on the groundbreaking novel.
That's some catch, that Catch-22.
The brand new series Catch-22 premieres May 18 only on Stan.
Welcome back. An air and sea operation was needed to rescue 2 men at North Bondi this morning. One man was swept off rocks by a wave while his mate was trapped on a cliff ledge. Bondi lifeguards rescued the man in the water while a police helicopter winched the second man off the cliff and onto Bondi Golf Course. Neither was injured. Bystanders have stepped in to restrain a man who allegedly robbed a grocery store and attempted to rob a pharmacy in Sydney's West. They made a citizen's arrest after police say he threatened a store worker with a vape pen, which he pretended was a gun.
Surrounded and seized in a citizen's arrest by store owners he'd allegedly stolen from, the end of an armed robbery spree through Granville. Hassan Hagar among the shopkeepers who chased and caught 24-year-old Talal Mubarak.
Some people say he's got gun, Be careful, he's got gun.
Earlier, Mubarak is seen entering a grocery store carrying what he told the attendant was a firearm. A few minutes later, after changing shirts, holding up a nearby pharmacy before the Good Samaritans intervened.
Although a good job, but we caution people that they don't put themselves in harm's way.
Police discovered his gun was in fact an electronic cigarette. Mubarak today facing court on a charge of armed robbery. Police allege the threat of a weapon and the impact that has on the store workers is enough to warrant the more serious charge. The 24-year-old did not apply for bail and it was formally refused. Cameron Price, 7 News.
Donald Trump called Tiger Woods a great guy and a legend as he presented him with America's highest civilian honour. Mel McLaughlin is here. Mel, it was a bit of a love-in at the White House today.
It was a strange one, wasn't it, Fergo? There were two old golfing buddies sharing jokes and mutual admiration. Donald Trump called Tiger Woods a global symbol of American excellence while presenting the Presidential Medal of Freedom, an honour that has divided opinion.
In the White House Rose Garden,
the President of the United States, accompanied by Eldrick Tiger Woods.
Donald Trump presents Tiger Woods with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the fourth golfer to receive it.
We are in the presence of a true legend. He's also a great person. He's a great guy.
They're old golfing mates and business partners.
This has been an unbelievable experience.
Trump told Tiger Tales, the early days that shook the world, the crippling back injury, the comeback and Masters triumph last month, Woods' 15th major.
He eagled the 13th. Do you remember that, Tiger? Kind of. I thought so. He's got a great memory, this guy. And he remembers the good stuff, which is really important, not the bad.
They didn't mention the cheating scandal that wrecked a marriage and his image.
You've seen the good and the bad, the highs and the lows, and I would not be in this position without all of your help.
While other African-American sports stars have declined invitations from Trump, Tiger took his girlfriend, mum and children.
My dad's no longer here, but my mom's here. I love you, Mom. Thank you. And
Matt Carmichael, 7 News.
And I'll be back soon with the rest of the day's sport, including why Greg Inglis was fined on the very first day of his new role at South, and his teammates loved it. Plus, it is official, one of the greatest Premier League title races of all time is going down to the final day this morning. Would have been very, very scary for Man City fans, but got the winner, spectacular winner, and we're on for the final day.
Come on, Liverpool.
Oh, dear.
Fingers
What, Chelsea? What do you mean?
They're now out of the race.
Okay.
Liverpool's my team now.
All right.
It's the drug tearing families apart and destroying lives, and now experts say ice use has exploded in our state. Next, we'll show you which suburbs are in the grip of the epidemic. Drink drive shame, a former Penrith Panthers player also caught up in a sex tape scandal learns his fate. Coles and Woolies targeted in an elaborate shoplifting spree worth $100,000. And the number of flu cases already higher than any other year, but there's some good news if you haven't had your jab yet. That's next.
On a teeny tiny street, there's a teeny tiny house.
Come on in, guys.
Is that the whole kitchen? If you put a bed in there, you wouldn't get to the cupboard.
I thought our house was small.
And in this teeny tiny house,
The height was so short.
We're keeping it.
It's going to be shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
does
So small.
matter. They'll have to think small
The mattress is too big.
to deliver massive innovation.
This is not our house.
So many space-saving ideas crammed into one teeny tiny house.
Where is this room come from?
New House Rules. Tonight, 7:30 on 7.
It's amazing how powerful a piece of paper can be on election day. Your vote will help shape Australia, so it's important that you understand how to make it count. On election day, you'll receive 2 ballot papers, a green one for the House of Representatives and a large white one for the Senate. On the green ballot paper, you put a 1 in the box beside the candidate who is your first choice, then a 2 in the box beside your second choice, and so on until you've numbered every box. On the white Senate ballot paper, you need to put a 1 in the box above the line for the party or group that is your first choice, then a 2 in the box for your second choice, and so on until you've numbered at least 6 boxes. Or you can choose to vote below the line by numbering at least 12 boxes for individual candidates in order of your choice. To learn more, visit aec.gov.au or call 132326. Authorised by the Electoral Commission of Canberra.
With Light and Easy, in the past year I've lost 26 kilos. I feel healthier. That's probably the best thing. I look in the mirror and I'm actually excited about clothes and I'm not trying to cover up anymore. The flavour of it is absolutely brilliant. Knowing that I can just go to the fridge, it's all taken care of, and not have to feel guilty about anything. People started coming up to me and saying, "You look different. What have you been doing?" And it's Light and Easy.
Visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
I'm Hunter Johnson and I co-founded The Man Cave. The reason we exist is that 1 in 5 young people experience anxiety or depression before they're 18, and suicide is the leading cause of death for men under the age of 25. We run workshops with boys to help create a generation of men that are empathetic, kind, strong and compassionate. The AMP Tomorrow Fund grant will allow us to help even more boys in schools across Australia, and the world will be a much better place.
Well, I have 5 jobs technically, 3 main jobs and then 2 sort of for extra money.
You know, I've worked 7 days and I've only managed to pull $300.
I don't know how they're going to go forward in the future and buy houses and do the things that we were able to do.
I got my payslip one day and it's just, you know, bit of money less, and we asked them why and they just said, had to cut.
This is not Australia. Change the government to change the rules. Authorised by Sally McManus, Australian Council of Trade Unions, Melbourne.
Welcome back. NRL bosses were keeping a close eye on 2 separate court cases today, with a current and a former player both before magistrates. A West Tigers rising star was sentenced over an assault in Bondi, while a former Panthers player learned his fate for drink driving.
Broke, unemployed and ashamed. But former Penrith Panthers player Tyrone Phillips at least has his court case behind him.
Are you embarrassed by all of this?
After downing 4 cans of Jim Beam in March, the 25-year-old got behind the wheel. That was shortly after he and teammate Liam Coleman were involved in a sex tape scandal.
Do you think you'll play football again?
Phillips's lawyer told Penrith Court his client had shown genuine embarrassment and remorse. The magistrate banned Phillips from driving for 6 months and fined him $300. Over at Waverley Court, West Tigers player Michael Cheekham was convicted of assaulting a rideshare driver in Bondi.
Excuse us.
The 27-year-old handed a 12-month good behaviour bond and fined $2,000.
While Tyrone Phillips handed in his resignation to Penrith after he was charged, Michael Cheekham still has a job. He'll be available for selection ahead of the Tigers-Panthers game this Friday.
Natasha Squarey, 7 News.
The number of people arrested using ice across our state has more than doubled in 5 years, a scourge threatening both city suburbs and country towns. A special inquiry today heard disturbing evidence of the drug's insidious reach and its deadly impact.
So far this financial year, police have busted 42 meth labs in New South Wales, fewer than previous years, but more people are using ice.
250% increases over the past 10 years in the prevalence of both possession and dealing of amphetamines in New South Wales.
The Special Commission of Inquiry heard crime statistics show statewide ice arrests are up 150% in 5 years. The greatest rate of arrest is in the west and south, followed by the North Coast and the Southern Highlands, Shoalhaven areas. In Sydney, it's the city and inner south, followed by the southwest. Standout areas include the inner west, where arrests are up 71% in 5 years, the outer west and Blue Mountains, Blacktown and Parramatta. Police say there are fewer labs, but they're bigger, producing much more ice.
We can't arrest our way out of this type of problem. We've got to provide help to families.
The inquiry in here just heard that 4 out of 5 ice users who die are men, most in their mid-30s. Tomorrow they'll hear from those on the front line who try to help ice users, and from the loved ones of those whom they could not help. Brian Seymour, 7 News.
A Sydney convenience store is at the centre of an elaborate shoplifting scam with staff accused of selling stock stolen from major supermarkets. The operation was only uncovered last month, but police say it may have been running for years.
It's the corner store where police say everything's a steal.
The allegation is that the majority of the items being sold out of that convenience store were all stolen.
Today, the manager was in no mood to talk about what's going on.
Stolen products? Sorry. Were they stolen products? Sorry.
When police raided this storage centre belonging to Mohammed Al Ghazawi, they found $100,000 worth of pharmaceuticals, batteries, personal items and food, all allegedly stolen from Coles and Woolworths, a shoplifting shopping list to stock the shelves of the Easy Mart in Darlinghurst. All up, 7 people were arrested. The accused mastermind Al Ghazawi, but also alleged shoplifters and counter staff.
I was just a cashier. I just used to do whatever my boss is asking me to do.
The matter is in court. We have plead not guilty.
Police allege Al Ghazawi came to this storage unit almost every day to pick up or drop off stolen property. He'd taken out a lease on it more than a year ago.
Expect it's been going on for quite some time.
Hurting not just major retailers but shoppers who ultimately end up paying more to cover losses. Andrew Denny, 7 News.
There's breaking news now on the Israel Folau Code of Conduct hearing. The 3-person panel has found Folau guilty of a high-level breach of the Professional Players Code of Conduct for his anti-gay social media post. They're now allowing further written submissions before deciding his punishment. Some of Australia's brightest medical minds have delivered their annual outlook for the flu season, and the news is not good. A big surge in early cases has doctors on edge, with nursing homes reporting outbreaks and influenza deaths already beginning to rise.
Flu experts are calling it the strangest season of all.
We haven't had something like this in living memory. To kick off so early is most unusual.
The pre-season's been dreadful, with early flu cases running up to 6 times higher than normal. We'll hit 40,000 victims later this week, almost as many as the whole of last year. There are outbreaks in aged care homes, with influenza deaths now occurring each week.
None of this bodes particularly well. We have seen a busy early season.
And an early start
may mean we see a slightly earlier peak.
Arriving now, 6 million flu jabs, more than ever, being distributed at record speed. Demand for the high-strength shot for over 65s is at an all-time high, and it's free. Children under 5 can also get a free shot.
The testing of the viruses that we've seen in people so far, they match with the vaccine we're using. So we should get good protection.
While they're already in the high-risk category, there's added incentive this year for obese people to avoid the flu. New research has found because they carry more virus, not only are they more likely to catch it, they're also more likely to spread it. Alex Hart, 7 News.
A man has faced court in Melbourne accused of causing over $1 million damage to a city hotel by flooding it. Police say Bradley Vogt was seriously drug affected when he opened fire hydrants on 18 floors, unleashing 400,000 litres of water. He was found passed out with a mop in his hand after apparently trying to clean up the mess. Being held up at airport security is a constant reality, but the days of being stuck in long lines could be over. Later, the new device designed to get you to your flight faster. A knife-wielding bandit leads police on a wild chase. You won't believe how it ends. Queen of Camp, how Lady Gaga stole the show at fashion's most outrageous night.
The big dry continues. High wind chill at times tomorrow. Details soon.
Jackie Weaver! You've said Hollywood scriptwriters don't understand what makes women over 60 tick. What is it they're missing?
I guess a uterus. They say old women shouldn't have long hair. Buggers that. At 71, I can do what I like.
Interview tonight, 9 o'clock on 7.
Find the ticket and win $1,000. Tickets are hiding in Cadbury Dairy Milk specially marked packs. To win $1,000, all you have to do is find one. 500 to be won, only at Coles.
Quit having to hide from your kids. Quit having to stand outside in the cold. Quit feeling you're being judged. Quit the expense. Quit all the coughing. Quit feeling like you're an outcast. Quit being embarrassed to give a hug. Quit running out of breath. Quit always saying you're going to quit. Quit smoking and you quit all the crap that goes with it. You quit, you win. For tips from real ex-smokers, visit icanquit.com.au or call Quitline.
The Ford Ranger XLT manual is already a standout on the worksite at just $51,990 drive away. But if you really want to get noticed, you'll want the fully loaded Ranger XLT with 18-inch black alloys, 3.2-litre diesel auto, leather accented seats and tech pack which includes AEB and Park Assist. All for just $56,490 drive away. The Ranger XLT and fully loaded Ranger XLT. High-vis value.
This is my leader.
There you go.
And I'm ambitious for him.
Yeah, good on you. Thanks, ScoMo.
He shouldn't have trusted him.
And I'm ambitious for him.
Yeah, good on you. Thanks, ScoMo.
Do you? Authorised by Anne Carroll, Australian Labor Party, Canberra.
Priceline's massive fragrance sale is on now, with up to half price off all fragrances like Estee Lauder, Jimmy Choo, Calvin Klein, Marc Jacobs, Gucci and Lancome. Plus 40% of selected skincare from Olay, Antipodes, The Jojoba Company, Nivea and more. Hurry, ends Thursday.
If disaster strikes your home, you might have to move back in with your parents. Luckily, with Amy Home Insurance, you can sleep easy knowing you're covered. That's not very insurance-y.
With a pet, your home doesn't always smell fresh. Airwick plug-ins have fragrance infused with essential oils. You can dial them up or down for a subtle, long-lasting freshness in your home. Airwick plug-ins.
Invest with La Trobe Financial, Australia's multi-award-winning wealth manager, returning 5.2% on a 12-month investment. Make your money work harder for you. Call 13 80 10.
Checking the markets now, and the ASX 200 closed 12 points higher. The major miners led the advance, both BHP Group and Rio Tinto making significant gains. And our dollar is buying 70.29 US cents. Fuel prices are falling across Sydney. The average is $1.40.2 a litre, but we found regular unleaded as cheap as $1.24.9 in Bexley. An accused rapist has gone to extreme lengths while trying to avoid capture on the Gold Coast. His unsuccessful efforts were viewed from the police helicopter and by other drivers infuriated by the dangerous risks he took.
Holy f***.
One after another.
Here we go.
In pursuit of this, a stolen Santa Fe whose panicked driver mounts a footpath, swerving, speeding onto the wrong side of the road. How no one was hit defies belief when you see this.
Maybe that's who they're chasing.
With its tyres busted from stingers, the car stops on a bridge. Knife in hand, the driver is desperate, demanding a father and daughter inside hand over their car. Out of options, the driver runs, flinging himself over a railing. Under the midday sun, he plunges into the Nerang River, but not free for long. The unlicensed 29-year-old is facing many charges, including rape and dangerous driving.
They had to keep that family in that car, Kyle. Oh my God.
His case has been adjourned for 3 weeks, time witnesses might take to recover. Sarah Greenolge, 7 News.
A row is brewing over beer giant Carlton's new advertising campaign. The ad promoting Carlton Zero as being healthier than soft drink shows an office worker having a bottle of non-alcoholic beer with a salad, while his colleague has a sugary cola. Health groups have slammed the campaign for encouraging drinking at work. The ad is due to hit television screens later this week. It's often labelled fashion's night of the year, more often resembling a high-flying circus, and this year's New York Met Gala did it again. There was an eye-popping performance before the pink carpet parade even finished, courtesy of a quick-changing Lady Gaga.
It's the pink carpet to rival the Oscars, a fashion emporium where anything goes. Welcome to the Met Gala. Hostess for the evening, Lady Gaga.
Wow, it's so great.
The freshly minted Academy Award winner put on a head-turning performance, unveiling not one but 4 outfits. She was back to black, then channeling Marilyn Monroe. Then, well, not much at all.
Best performance of the night? Yeah.
The event raises funds for the museum. The theme was camp.
I wasn't sure what it meant. I thought camping. We're going to be at the Met and everybody's going to stay and sleep all night together.
Rapper Cardi B met the brief with a maroon tent. Katy Perry took care of the lighting. It was a family affair for the Kardashians.
No, it's like me, Kendall and Kylie.
And the newlywed Hemsworths. A world away from Byron Bay, here in Manhattan, it's all about peacocking and partying. In the United States, Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
The days of waiting in line at airport security could be over thanks to a new futuristic device. The medical-grade scanner allows staff to see inside a bag from all angles. Find out how it works soon on 7 News. But now Mel is back with sport and a nervous night for James Maloney and the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers, the struggling Panthers, already with some big injury worries to key men. They won't want to lose Maloney too. We'll cross to NRL HQ next. We'll also have breaking news at the Eels over the playing future of one of their superstars. And next summer's cricket schedule is out, and it is a big win for fans at the Pink Ball Tests.
We have one child dead, the other still missing. We have to find her.
I had nothing to do with it, I'm the dad.
Then tell us where you were.
She knows where he was.
He's no angel.
She knows it will destroy her.
Do not talk to anyone.
Who else knows? The stunning new mystery.
People talk around here.
The Bay. Wednesday after House Rules on 7.
Labor can't manage money. Last time, they racked up $240 billion in deficits, just when the Liberals are turning it around. Don't let Bill Shorten go for broke again. Labor, it's the bill Australia can't afford.
Authorised by A. Hurst, Liberal Party of Australia, Canberra.
Corned beef Silverside. Now only $5.99 a kilo. Aldi, good, different.
Get the luxury look for less with 30% off your second light or fan from Beacon's inspiring new winter collection. These on-trend designs instantly update any home on any budget. 30% off your second light or fan now.
Thick and creamy Tamar Valley yogurt contains a spoonful of pure Tasmania and is made with the purest locally sourced milk from the pristine Tamar Valley. Enjoy a little taste of Tassie with Tamar Valley yogurt.
This is no ordinary Saturday. It's the event that made more millionaires than any other last year. Lotto's $20 million Super Draw Saturday.
I'm on a tangent, textbook ephemeral, facts are confusing me. I'm so free now. I'm on a one-man waiting list for the kill and buried all my memories. I'm so free now.
Every Lexus is designed to anticipate your every need. The all-new Lexus UX. We've been expecting you.
At Light and Easy, we have lots of ways to help you lose weight and feel great in 2019. Like the way we offer you the biggest range of delicious, nutritious meals created by chefs and approved by dietitians. Or the way we make sure everything you need is fully prepared, packed by day and delivered to your door. And the way we guarantee that if you're not 100% happy with your first delivery, we'll give you your money back. And by the way, there's no contracts, so you're in control. To find out how Light and Easy can help you, visit lightandeasy.com.au today.
There'll never be another who speak to me with such gravity. Your very words are everything to me. Can hardly hear no other.
Give her a Mother's Day gift that lasts. Discover beautiful gifts this Mother's Day at Pandora.
Labor's higher taxes on housing, family business, retirees and incomes will put the squeeze on everyone. Labor can't manage money, so they're coming after yours. Labor, it's the bill Australia can't afford.
Authorised by A. Hurst, Liberal Party of Australia, Canberra.
Welcome back. Panthers star James Maloney is at the judiciary tonight, hoping to be cleared to play against West Tigers on Friday night. We go live now to Chief League reporter Michelle Bishop. Michelle, hello to you. Before we get the latest on Maloney, you've got breaking news at Parramatta.
Good evening, Mel. I can reveal here tonight that the Parramatta Eels have been informed this afternoon that any contract negotiations involving their star player Clint Gutherson and the club have officially been placed on hold. Gutherson's management is frustrated at the lengthy delays. They claim the inability to come to an acceptable offer for a player of his stature in this current market is now bordering on ridiculous. So this is the first real indication we could in fact see Clint Gutherson switch clubs. Now, in terms of the judiciary here tonight, James Maloney, Penrith 5'8", arrived here a short time ago. He's facing a Grade 1 dangerous contact charge for a chicken wing style tackle stemming from Penrith's loss against the Raiders. Now, if he is unsuccessful in fighting that charge, he will of course miss Friday night's match against the West Tigers. But more importantly for James Maloney, he needs to be spending time on the field. He is, of course, he's facing a huge challenge with Cody Walker and Luke Keary really pushing for his spot in the Blues lineup. So time away is the last thing he needs. Mel.
Shell, thank you. Michelle Bishop there at NRL HQ. Well, while the Panthers are desperate for a win, South Sydney is flying under Wayne Bennett. And today, the legendary coach was joined by the recently retired Greg Inglis, who's got a new role at Redfern.
The Rabbitohs prepared for Magic Round today as the master coach and his apprentice called the shots.
It's good to have him back around. He's bouncing around. He's great personality in the shed, so it's good to see him back with a smile on his face.
Greg Inglis clearly in his comfort zone in his new role as assistant coach.
They said he was good by all reports. He did have the wrong T-shirt on there, so we'll be fining him for that. He had the wrong sponsorship on his branding, so $50, Greggy, thank you.
As Burgess counted the cash, Inglis worked closely with the Bunnies backline.
Going from that player to coaching role has been pretty easy for him. He's transitioned well, and we all respect what he's got to say.
It's been a great help for Alex Johnson, who's transitioned to full-back, and a lot of the young wingers. He's been very good, so he's a great asset to the club.
While his teammates have produced some impressive moves, the old warhorse admitted the body suffered.
It wasn't too good. The hips were a bit tight. We've got Cody firing, we've got Renault firing at the moment, Sam's killing it.
I think we're just doing the little things quite well.
They face the Cowboys, complete with the human wrecking ball Jason Taumalolo on Sunday.
He's obviously a damaging ball runner, and he's a real threat for them. You know, he creates a lot of their momentum, go forward.
Michelle Bishop, 7 News.
Cricket Australia has released a schedule for an historic summer. For the first time, the first 3 tests will be day-nighters in Brisbane and Adelaide against Pakistan, then in Perth against New Zealand, before the traditional Boxing Day and New Year's tests at the MCG and SCG. And Steve Smith and David Warner, they'll be back.
It's absolutely fantastic to have them back. The team's welcomed them back, the public have welcomed them back, and I think it's great that they're now in the team.
India's insistence on hosting a one-day series in January means the SCG will have 2 one-days in March, despite the ground being needed for at least 3 football codes. Andrew Bogut watched from the bench as his Golden State Warriors lost Game 4 of their Western Conference semi-final to the Rockets in Houston. James Harden fired 38 points before a Warriors comeback.
This is for a tie from Durant. No, it's back to Durant. Curry for the tie.
The Rockets won 112 to 108. The series is 2-2. Aaron Baines and the Boston Celtics are on the brink in the East, trailing Milwaukee 3-1 now. Socceroos keeper Matty Ryan can become a Liverpool legend this week without playing for them. After 70 nervous minutes this morning, Vincent Kompany struck a vital blow for Manchester City.
A wild celebration for a goal from his wildest dreams.
It was too. The 1-0 win over Leicester put City 1 point ahead of Liverpool with 1 game to play in the season. Man City face Matty Ryan's team at Brighton. A loss or draw will open the door for the Reds, who host Wolves. Just an incredible finish to the season. They all play at the same time. Matty Ryan, opportunity for him to be the hero, depending on where you sit.
Yeah, what a big moment for the Socceroos goalie.
It's unbelievable, the finish. And tomorrow, Liverpool-Barcelona in the Champions League.
And go Boston in the next few days.
Yeah, struggling.
Fingers crossed. A new device is scanning luggage at Perth Airport tonight as part of a small global trial. The technology promises to cut time and the tension that comes with passing through security by ending the days where laptops and liquids are removed from carry-on luggage.
Described as the checkpoint of the future, this jet engine-shaped machine is designed to help passengers fly through airport security.
There's no need to take anything out of your bags whatsoever.
The medical-grade scanner takes pictures in 3D. allowing staff to see inside a bag from all angles. It cuts through layers, so liquids, aerosols and laptops no longer need to be removed.
If there's something they're not quite sure about, rather than necessarily having to open up that bag and go through it in detail, they can actually spin the image round that and look at it from a number of different directions.
Your time spent in queues at security cut by up to 40%.
It speeds up the whole journey, it's less stressful, just a better experience all round.
Suspect, reject post. Thank you, ma'am. You've left your citizen. Unfortunately, it can't go.
As well as helping the operator look for guns, knives and other contraband, this machine has built-in explosive detection technology, which is often much more difficult to spot. While your bags are being checked, you'll also step into a new body scanner.
I just need your feet on the yellow lines.
Unlike metal detectors, which sound a general alarm if something's picked up, this machine isolates exactly where on your body the foreign material is, eliminating the need for a full body pat-down.
Thank you.
The new CT scanners are being trialled in New York, Phoenix and now Perth. By the end of next year, all Australian capital city airports must have similar technology. Rob Scott, 7 News.
David is back with the latest forecast now. Brownie, how long will the sunny weather last?
At least a week, Fergo, and I think we'll see some high wind chill tomorrow morning. Local forecast next.
Anytime, all the time, we'll take you there. Go to 7news.com.au. Happening now.
I promise you I'll never give you reason not to trust me.
Will you marry me?
He left without a word. Now he's back.
When you left, she was an absolute mess.
Please just leave me alone. Can she forgive him?
I don't want to hurt her anymore.
Home and Away. This week at 7 on 7.
From apartments in the city to bubbles in the desert, book more than just hotels. Live curious. Booking.com.
At APIA, we're all about possibilities and making sure you're ready for them. Because age is just a number. Slowing down? You're just getting started. Go grab life by the... and go do whatever it is you want to do. It's all possible. Now show them how it's done. APIA. Get set, go. Call 13 50 50.
Get behind your team, Sydney, and get to the SCG. Together, we're stronger. Together, we belong. Show your support for the Swans this Friday night as we take on the Bombers. Book now.
I'm on a tangent, textbook ephemeral. Facts are confusing me. I'm so free now. I'm on a one-man waiting list for the kill and buried all my memories. I'm so free now.
Every Lexus is designed to anticipate your every need. The all-new Lexus UX. We've been expecting you.
Nature's an amazing place. It's a perfect balancing act, thriving with life. Some of which we don't even see. Like the billions of microorganisms that help keep nature in balance. At Swiss, the quest continues.
I saw the life inside, so shine bright tonight. You and I shine bright like a diamond.
Who will you make happy today?
La vie est belle en rose. The new eau de toilette, Lancôme.
My store.
Get ready for the new detective who doesn't play by the rules.
Scandalous.
New Frankie Drake Mysteries. Tonight, 8:30 on 7/2.
Tonight, 7 News headlines. A woman's been charged with assault after egging the Prime Minister. Beaming new dad, Prince Harry, plans to let the world meet his son tomorrow. Parents of a Sydney apprentice killed in a scaffolding collapse have told 7 News they're pushing for new laws. And from Western Sydney to the Order of Australia, Human Nature awarded after 3 decades of music. Now, at the very latest on Sydney's weather, here's David.
Thanks very much, Fergo, and good evening. Well, the dry spell continues. Of course, dry weather this time of year leads to cold mornings. Today's top, 23.4 degrees, following our coldest start to the day since mid-September last year. And for the record, 4.4 degrees set in 1862 is in fact the lowest May temperature ever recorded at Observatory Hill. As we have a look into the suburbs, you'll notice we had low to mid-20s throughout by around about mid-afternoon. Both Camden and Campbelltown dipped down to 3 degrees near sunrise. Now, dry northwesterly wind dominates our state. We've got clear sky under it as well. To the south, there is a cold front, and this system is driving scattered showers. It's also responsible for that, a massive dust storm that ripped through Mildura, Victoria. The dust is in fact trapped in the cold air dome following the front. The front itself should eventually clear out to sea tomorrow morning, taking the scattered showers with it. We've got this vigorous westerly airstream, as you can see, but in the lee of the Great Dividing Range, look at the clear skies associated with that very, very dry westerly wind. Interstate tomorrow, Brisbane, warm, sunny weather on the way, around 27 degrees. In sharp contrast, cold and showery in Melbourne, only 17. Darwin, clear skies and a forecast top of 33. Perth should be fine and sunny and a top of around 23 degrees. Now, strong wind warning covers central and southern parts of the coast tomorrow for that vigorous westerly wind. Statewide, it will be generally a dry and sunny day. Apart from those isolated showers, we're expecting mainly about the western slopes of the southern ranges. Some snow flurries are possible first thing at places like Thredbo. Overall, a rather cool to cold day, and of course that includes the metro area as well. One thing the graphic doesn't show us, and that is high wind chill. We're expecting that first thing during the morning when that vigorous westerly change moves through. But of course, lots of sunshine and temperatures generally reaching the low 20s. Strong wind warning covers our coastal waters, and that means rough seas offshore for the city. Sunny top of 21 degrees. Let's move on to that 7-day forecast now. It's dry all the way through, as you can see. In fact, we're expecting temperatures at best to reach the low 20s. So that's latest weather. The big dry continues. Mel and Fergo.
Keep that dust well away, Brownie.
Hopefully it will stay away.
Fingers crossed. That is 7 News for this Tuesday. We'll have updates for you throughout the evening and the latest from 11 p.m. I'm Mark Ferguson from all the team. I hope you have a great night.
7news.com.au. Happening now.